Hi, this is Ricky for Gamification. Then I thought, hi, this is Ricky for Gamification. Hi, this is Ricky from Communication Generation, and these are my reflections on gamification. Now, I've written up some reflections on a post that I've written about gamification and ethics, but I wasn't comfortable with it because I'm not really practicing what I'm preaching unless I actually make a video on it in my mind at least. Because if I'm writing about something like virtue ethics and reflective practice, then I probably actually need to do some media making and have a little bit of courage, which is a virtue. And then I'll have something to reflect upon and improve my practice over time. And because video making is such an important part of media making, and I'm only going to get better if I do something and then improve upon it over time, reflecting on the theories that I have, both in action and on action, then can't really expect to get better at it. And I know from experience from looking at other people's videos on YouTube, like I'm not even remembering to look at the camera, that's my first time, reflection note there. But what happens is they always look lame. If you go back to any old videos, you can, any popular YouTube channels today, and go back to their original videos, they look pretty ordinary, but today they look, really great. And that's how they've become successful YouTube channels. And if you look at most channels as well, overwhelmingly, they have a lot of videos. They've practiced, reflected, and the algorithms start to work in your favor, especially after you get past the average, past the mean 3 or 4, 5, 6 videos, start to get up to about 10 videos. You can really start to see some improvements in traffic. And I know even from my podcast from last year, I'm seeing a lot more traffic this year from my first assignment than I did last year, simply because I've had about like 6 or 7 podcasts in between, and some people will watch one or listen to one podcast and then go and check out the rest, and it's your back catalog that starts to accumulate, and the algorithms love it. Then for the same reason of making a big hub page for my blog, I'm making about a 1,400 word gamification hub page, and I'm going to continue to refine that content and have links come into that hub page from videos, and even as I make new blog posts, I'll link to that hub page. And that's true, of course, with this current podcast and this current blog post that I'm doing, which is on ethics and gamification. And seeing as I've already written out my reflection notes, I might as well make a blog, a video post about it, do some slight repurposing, because the ideas are already in my mind, and it's not half as disjointed and random as this video is. It's not half as disjointed as it would have been if I had been starting from scratch and hadn't been thinking about these ideas as well. And and I even have some notes on the screen here as I'm reading, which hopefully will make it a bit more coherent. Yeah, then I'm making YouTube videos. I really want to get some Pinterest pins up in the future, because Pinterest pins stay there and people will find them over time and build SEO traffic and help link my content to the community. And also, of course, video posts like this, people might come across it. Oh, I'm interested in this specific long tail thing, which it is a bit like ethics and gamification. Not many people probably would have made a YouTube video about that. Then I can expect to get at least some traffic, especially if I have got a little bit of a back catalog. And I'm also sharing something which I think is I'm intrinsically motivated to create, which works in well with gamification. Yeah, then over the course of this unit, I've looked to build my competence and understanding of gamified media by engaging with the course materials and collaborating with others. And it's been through a process of praxis and critical reflective practices that I've been engaged with. I've shared resources for Twitter and found out about resources like HP5, a gamification program, which I was able to use to make little gamified interactive content which people can engage with, and perhaps that's made it a little bit more interesting. I'd love to hear your comments below, and you might even, if I happen to work out how to give badges, you might even earn a badge, but give us a little while on that one. Then I've continued to develop my ideas as part of the learning community. And one of the reasons I chose ethics in gamification for this blog post was because I wanted to create a resource that would continue to provide value for my readers and inform their practices over time. Not as an expert, but by encouraging them in ways, that resonate universally with all people and all students. I think ethics is one of those things. And I think when ethics gets applied to gamification, it helps to create really good outcomes for a better world. Now, while expert theory is great, what really matters is learning by doing and then mindfully reflecting on what you have done, both in action and on action. Expert knowledge often implies the old needle and syringe models of knowledge acquisition, whereas critically reflective practice is grounded in progressive capacity building. All my readers are on a different learning journeys, and this post was chosen as a place where all these journeys intersect with my own interests as well. Then I can see now from reading this how I probably need to go back and refine some of the things that I've written simply by reading it out loud and posting it. But I'm going to share it with you anyway, as is, and hopefully you can get something out of this and apply it to your learning journey as well. Thanks for watching. Then when my video channel is up and running and getting a lot of views in the future, someone might go back and look at one of my earlier videos and say, oh yeah, that wasn't that great. Then in the I can do something amazing in the future. Something to think about. Thanks.